Good morning everyone and welcome to the Sport Ireland National Aquatic Centre here in Dublin. We are here for day 2 of the 2018 World Paraswimming Allianz European Championships. I'm Paul Noble. I'll be taking you through the action this morning. We'll be here all week and I'll be in the company of Liz Johnson. Morning, Liz.
Morning, Paul.
Well, exciting night that we saw last night. Great swims, 4 world records for us to enjoy on day 1. What can we expect on day 2?
I think day 1 set the tone for some exciting championships and more head-to-heads, more fast swimming. A great platform going into Tokyo 2020.
Well, some of those winners from last night, some of the medalists will be back in the pool. It's a tough schedule for some of these swimmers, and we saw some great performances by some youngsters coming through yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, the European Championships always provides a platform for teams to bring in this new talent, and we'll get to see a lot more of this morning. The old meet the young.
Well, we start off with the women's 100 backstroke S10. We've got some of the distance events this morning as well, so the session a little bit longer than we had yesterday morning, but that's what we like to see, some good swimming for us to enjoy. 200 IM, always exciting, everything changing about, and the S14 races in the breaststroke yesterday, very, very competitive, and we expect much of the same as well in the 200 freestyle events, which are a little bit later on in the session. We'll go right through the range of classifications, right from the S3 swimmers right through to the S14s, and we will bring you brief explanations of the classification system as we go through. Well, crowd are ready. We've got a big Irish presence as well in the spectator gallery. We can see right opposite us a number of Irish flags here in the arena, and they were in great voice last night. They had 3 finalists, and they have some swimmers this morning with chances of making the finals later on tonight.
Yeah, it would be great to see Nicole Turner back in action. And every time the crowds are filling up, and the Irish are always great supporters wherever they are in the world. So the fact that we're at home for them, they haven't got so far for travel, we can expect some noise tonight, and in fact this morning.
Well, fans are out in force. The teams are in good voice. There's the Irish fans there. There's Ellen Keane's dad. Disappointed we haven't seen this bright green suit yet.
I think he might be saving it. Ellen Keane's events progress towards the end of the week, saving herself for a big 100 breaststroke. Maybe he's getting it dry cleaned.
Maybe. Well, it's always a sight to see. Let's hope we're not building it up for something. Let's hope he doesn't disappoint us. Starting event this morning, the women's 100 backstroke S10. 4 swimmers taking the start in this one. Heat 1 of 2. Lisa Kruger from the Netherlands in the centre lane there. Hail Emmeline Pierre from France right next to her in lane number 5. There's Lisa Kruger. Liz, what swim she had last night. Netherlands 1-2 in the breaststroke. Lisa Kruger back in action very quickly after last night's great race when she was silver medal to her teammate Chantal Zoudeveld.
Yep, she's the breaststroke wizard, number 1 event. She got off to a great start, and she'll be looking to get that swim out of her system this morning.
There's Alicia Scottacini. And there is the young Polish swimmer, the 14-year-old Alexandra Ostera. Very young field in here. So maybe come to expect from the European Championship, she said, Liz. Chance for these countries to blood some young talent. Certainly what we saw yesterday. All about making the final though in this heat session. Just 9 swimmers taking the start for the 2 heats. You only have to lose 1.
All 4 swimmers, they're pretty evenly away. As we can see, it's Emmeline Pierre, the bronze medalist from the World Championships in Mexico, who's slightly forging a lead. But these girls, they've got to push it because they're in heat 1. But as you said, Paul, they've only got to lead 1 swimmer, so it's a balancing act about conserving enough energy, but making sure you're not that 1 swimmer that misses out.
And 3 swimmers at the front of the field at the moment have a decent lead. Lisa Kruger, the first one over there, 34.35. And Emmeline Pierre just following her. And Scotticini looks pretty comfortable as well. This is the S10 class, swimmers with a minimal impairment. Be minimally affected in one limb. And Lisa Kruger doing a great job there. This backstroke coming into the closing stages now of this first heat. She looked in very good shape yesterday. Lisa Kruger was a great time. It was kind of overshadowed by her teammate a little, who broke the world record, but still a very good time for Lisa Kruger. She's continuing that good form. 1:10.26 for the Netherlands swimmer. As we get to the end, we'll sort out the timing captions on our screen there. But Lisa Kruger, you can see on the big scoreboard here in the Aquatic Centre, takes that one, 1:10.26. Emmeline Pierre in second, 1:11.68. And Scotticini in third, 1:15.03. They should make it through to the final. Looks like the result has been confirmed. Noctera, 1:27.9 in fourth.
As we said, pretty even starts, but once they were up into their strokes, Lisa Kruger, coming off the back of a great swim last night, just took control of that heat, powered ahead, and got her hand on that wall first.
Result is confirmed of that first heat. Lisa Kruger taking it ahead of Emmeline Pierre and Alicia Scotticini. I'm liking these overhead shots, Leslie. Give us a great insight to some of the techniques of the swimmers. Lane number 4, Bianca Papp, will be the class of this second heat.
Again, as with the first heat, four swimmers, all the swimmers in this heat pretty evenly away, but as you rightly say, Paul, Bianca Papp is the backstroker, the class of this field, and she would expect to go steadily this morning, put out a solid time, because it's all to play for this evening.
Okay, Bianca Papp, just 18 years of age, but she's been around for a fair while, hasn't she?
Yeah, and she's got some titles under her belt. She was a world champion in Mexico, the European champion in Funchal, and obviously the Paralympic silver medalist in Rio in 2016. So a lot of experience for not a lot of age.
She was 14 when she first came onto the European scene 4 years ago in Eindhoven, and she's looking great here, stretching away from the rest of the field. Bianca Papp, Annelle Roulet, silver medalist in the World Championships behind Bianca Papp. So we've got the gold and silver medalists here from the 2017 World Championships in those two centre lanes. But Bianca Papp looking good, 1:08.63 for Bianca Papp. Annelle Roulet second place, and Susanna Cole in third. So they'll be okay for the final. In fourth place, looks like the Spanish swimmer, Julia Benito de Tena, should claim her place in that final too.
Great swim there from Bianca Papp. Put her marker down, because sometimes it's easy to get lulled into going too easy in the heats when you know that you don't have to do too much to make the final, but then it's harder to pick it up in the evening, and she signalled her intent there to come in, defend her title and put down a world leading time.
Bianca Papp stretches for the wall. She will certainly be the fastest into that final. She'll be the favourite. Annelle Roulet second place in that heat. Susanna Cole in third spot. They will make it to the final, as will the Spanish swimmer Julia Benito de Tena. Looks like the Finnish swimmer will just miss out on the finals in 9th position. Men's 200 metres individual medley SM6. 3 heats of this. Heat number 1 on its way. We do have some home interest in this one. Patrick Flanagan goes in lane number 3 for the host nation of Ireland, next to the gold medalist from yesterday in the 50 freestyle, Ties van Hoefwegen of the Netherlands. So I wonder what the home swimmer can do, Liz. He lives right here in Dublin. He'll have a lot of home support. Patrick Flanagan going in lane number 3. There's the gold medalist from last night, Ties van Hoefwegen. He swam a very good 50 freestyle, didn't he?
Yeah, and there are 3 heats of this SM6 200 medley, so all of the men, including home favourite there, Flanagan, you just have to go and put a serious marker down and not leave anything to chance in the later heats.
Well, that to be a good performance from Patrick Flanagan if he's going to progress into the final. But we saw some good swims from the Irish swimmers yesterday. Experienced man James Scully doing a season's best to make it to the final of his 200 freestyle yesterday. But this is heat number 1 of the 200 metres individual medley, SM6. And talk about the SM6 class being a range of disabilities. We saw a range of starts there, and a very good start by the swimmer there in lane number 5. Very, very good start from Walensky and Van Hoefwegen. They lead the field through this butterfly line.
Yeah, a range of starts and also a range of butterfly techniques. There we see out in front Walensky with that single arm butterfly, using his left arm, his left leg. With Van Hoefwegen getting high out of the water because he's doing double arm, but needs to get that impaired arm to clear the water.
And they'll all have their strengths, their strong strokes here. Van Hoefwegen definitely will come back on the freestyle. Walensky will have to try and create a little bit of a gap between him and the Netherlands swimmer if he is going to have a chance to take this one, and that's exactly what he's doing at the moment. Great start from Walensky.
Yeah, we say it all the time in these 200 metre individual medleys, but there's so much risk involved in going too hard on your good strokes and then or playing to your weaker strokes and then burning up before the end of the race and running out of energy. So it's all about tactics and control here. But Walensky doing everything he can to give himself the biggest lead over Van Hoefwegen, because they know how strong Van Hoefwegen's freestyle leg is. The breaststroke now is the Van Hoefwegen. He started already, he's pushed off the wall with intent. And the great thing about breaststroke when you're on a 200 medley and you're behind is that you can see who you're trying to chase. So it's all about then trying to reel in Walensky for Van Hoefwegen.
Van Hoefwegen on the chase now for Johan Walensky, and he is catching up. Patrick Flanagan was in 3rd place there at that turn, so the home swimmer going well down in lane number 3, but it looks like Van Hoefwegen just beginning to catch up now on Johan Walensky as they come to this final turn. Walensky will still have the edge, but Van Hoefwegen, a very strong freestyler.
Yeah, and here we see them coming. Van Hoefwegen's done well to try and catch up to Walensky as much as possible, and he will now hope that he hasn't expended too much energy down that breaststroke length, and he's breathing towards Walensky, so that also helps because he can try now, and as we can see, he's starting to reel him in.
Well, there are 3 heats in this one. I would think probably the top 2 in each heat would be safe, but it is the fastest 8 times from all the heats combined, so if you win the heat you're not guaranteed a place in that final, but generally being in the top 2 should guarantee you a place in those final 8. And it is going to be Van Hoefwegen just overtaking Walensky. A good tussle between these two and under the 3-minute mark, so a good swim there for Van Hoefwegen and for Walensky as well. Excellent times for those two. I wonder if the home swimmer can come through into 3rd spot, and it does look like it is going to be Patrick Flanagan, giving himself half a chance here to progress to that final. And well done, Flanagan, 3:20.47, big improvement on his entry time.
Yeah, Patrick Flanagan there had a race with Ivo Rocker in lane 6 from Portugal pretty much the whole way through that event, and he answered your call, Paul, and he put in a good swim, and he's given himself the best opportunity, but there are still 2 heats to go.
Well, he's lying in 3rd spot there in that heat. We'll keep an eye on the position of Patrick Flanagan as we go through the heats, but these two at the front of the field, they will definitely be contenders when it comes to the final. Van Hoefwegen is on great form. We saw him win the 50 yesterday. Walensky got out very fast. Watch out for him on the butterfly. Very fast butterfly for Walensky there, but Van Hoefwegen, thumbs up for him. He's pleased with that performance today, and he will take the first heat. Still waiting for confirmation of that. We have one swimmer still to come in, the Turkish swimmer. It's a combined event, Liz. It's SM5s and SM6s swimming together. They only are battling for one medal, so there's no separate SM5 event. And the swimmer from Turkey, Insi, is coming in now in 6th position. He's confirmed in 4:34.00, but under the 3-minute mark. Ties van Hoefwegen of the Netherlands ahead of Joa Belinsky, and Patrick Flanagan from Ireland in 3rd. So the Irish crowd pleased with that one. Patrick Flanagan with a chance of making that final. 2 strong Ukrainians in 4 and 5 though. Yaroslav Semenenko and Alexander Komarov, he will be favourites for this one. I wonder, Liz, if we're going to see another head-to-head here between the 2 Ukrainians in the centre lanes.
Well, we have spoken about the depth the Ukrainians have, and we notice that more often than not there's more than one Ukrainian representative in each event.
There's Komarov on the medal podium last night. The Ukrainian bronze medal in the 50 freestyle, so I think he's strong in the freestyle as well. Semenenko, more experienced colleague right next to him. Again, Liz, those range of starts here.
Yeah, and as we saw, Komarov in lane 5 going from a seated start with Semenenko, who has an upper arm impairment, diving and using the full 50 meters underwater, but actually, in fact, it was David Sanchez Sierra in lane 3 who's got a similar impairment, who got the best start and is getting a healthy lead down this first fly leg.
Oh, very good start there. Almost punished him out, yeah. Going out to the turn. We saw this from Belinsky in the first heat. Sanchez Sierra leads them through. 35.28, Komarov just behind. 2.8 seconds. Watch out for Komarov. Watch out for Semenenko as well. Semenenko is a swimmer swimming with no arms at all. He just employs that butterfly kick on his back, and he's looking pretty steady. Semenenko, very good butterfly, very good backstroker, and an excellent breaststroker.
Absolutely, and this is a prime example of how the medley does play to its strengths, because at the moment, Sanchez Sierra of Spain got a healthy lead, Semenenko keeping his compatriot Komarov company, but when we turn onto the breaststroke, we'll see that Semenenko and Sanchez Sierra have strong breaststroke leg kicks, whereas Komarov will have a lower, he goes down to an SB5 for breaststroke, so he won't have such a strong leg kick, but then he'll have the stronger front crawl as it comes to the end. So it's all about now how much of a lead these 3 that are currently in front of Komarov can build up for him to chase them down that final leg.
Well, it was such a good turn there. You just saw the contrast. Semenenko had that push off the wall and took him well ahead of Komarov there, his colleague. Semenenko and Sanchez Sierra just stretching away now. Very good performance so far from Fabian Brunner from Germany in that red cap just to the left of your picture there. Semenenko will be trying to get on terms with the Spanish swimmer as they come to this final turn. But as they get onto the freestyle, well, it will favour Komarov, but he is some 15 metres behind the leaders at the moment.
Yes, and Sanchez Sierra and Semenenko will be aware that the chase is coming, so they will have given themselves a great lead. But the problem they have is that all of their work is coming from their lower limbs. So when they get onto this front crawl, they're not allowed to do a butterfly leg kick because they've used that in the butterfly leg. And the rules of 200 meter medley is that there's got to be 4 different strokes. So they have to use that slower front crawl kick, alternating leg kick. And they're starting to feel the burn, but they have done a phenomenal job of giving themselves a significant advantage.
Fabian Brunner going well too. from Germany, but going really well is David Sanchez Sierra. This is going to be an excellent time here for him. Not quite as fast as the first heat, but nevertheless, David Sanchez Sierra takes that one. His entry time was 3:16. He's improved that to 3:09. Semenenko now coming in, as you can see, using that flutter kick. Has to touch with his head, of course, and 3:23 for Semenenko. And he's followed home by Fabian Brunner from Germany. A good swim from the German swimmer. An improvement on his entry time. And Komarov down in 4th position there. So, yeah, great swim at the front there from David Sanchez Sierra. And he will take that one. And it's times in that heat not quite as fast as the first one. It's good news for the local swimmer, Flanagan.
It is, and there we can see Sanchez Sierra patting his elbow because he's touched the wall. He obviously has to touch the wall with that elbow towards the end, and he was swimming quickly, so he will have hit it with some force. And a bony elbow can also result in some pain at the end of the race.
Well, he certainly, will just be temporary, hopefully, for Sanchez Sierra, because he'll be really pleased with that swim. Great underwater shots we're getting here in Dublin, really demonstrating the abilities of these swimmers. And Sanchez Sierra using those small arms, using everything that he's got to get propulsion.
And it's all about maximising everything that you've got available to you. We've spoken about it so much already at this meet, and Sanchez Sierra definitely did that. And it's this real confidence builder to take the win of the heat.
Final swimmer just coming in now. Sanchez Sierra looking across, get the confirmed result. And Sanchez Sierra confirmed in 1st position, 3:09.98. Semenenko in 2nd place. Fabian Brunner, a good swim for the German. And Komarov in 4th position, 3:29.00. So Komarov in some danger at the moment, making that final. And we do have an amendment to Heat 1, and, well, 2 disqualifications have come through there, including the man who won that heat in a great time. Ties van Hoofwegen from the Netherlands has been disqualified, as has Ingvarsson from Iceland. So, shock there, Liz.
Yeah, and that really opens up the field now for this final heat. And some of those on the edge of the results took 3rd or 4th touch in those first 2 heats.
Well, more to play for in this final heat. Anthony Ponce Bertran in lane number 4 for Spain is the fastest time into this. 3 Spanish swimmers in this one. I said it is a combined event. Normally we'd see 3 per country in all of the heats, but because there are 2 different classifications taking part in this, the SM5s and SM6, there are more than 3 per nation. This is the 3rd of the heats. Disqualification means that Yoav Valinsky of Israel leads the way in 3:0.86. Home swimmer Patrick Flanagan sitting quite nicely in 3rd place with this 1 more heat to come, but it's a pretty even start. 5 swimmers all in contention here in the early stages.
Yeah, and that best start there coming from Mustafa Sav, Turkey in lane 6, but now we see the athletes in the middle of the pool who have that double-armed butterfly, powering through, getting stronger, and leading the way is Marco Maria Dolfin of Italy.
We spoke about the Italians last night, the great strength and depth that they have in their team. And Marco Dolphin there, the SM6 class, but now being headed a man who swims in the SM5 classification. And that is Anthony Ponce Bertran from Spain. Looks like he is in great form here. He will be one of the favourites, certainly the pre-race favourite, at a time under the 3-minute mark, so we'll see how he goes. Next to him, just on the left there, is Ben Sivan from Hungary, 18-year-old. This third heat. Certainly the fastest entry times of all the 3 heats. And they should fancy their chances of making that top 8. 8th place at the moment, held by Soderling of Finland, 3:55.02, so well within the capabilities of the guys here in this final heat to make that final.
Absolutely, and Ponce Bertrand is doing his all. His breaststroke, he's got a great breaststroke. We see there from that overhead shot how his legs just drag behind him. So in order to maximise his streamlining, he breathes every third stroke, keeps himself flat on the water, tries not to use up any more energy than is absolutely necessary.
Ponce Bertrand, world champion in breaststroke, so no surprise to see him go ahead of the rest of the field. Betsy Van going really well, the Hungarian. Hungary also a team who have got a lot of youngsters here. The Hungarian team has always had quite a small band of swimmers, but always high quality. Maybe this man is the next in the line of the Hungarian swimmers to be successful at international level. Ponce Bertrand, though, he's stretching away, looking comfortable, Liz.
Yeah, Ponce Bertrand, as you said, he's got that luxury of being in the third heat. He's seen the times that have gone before him. He's a great swimmer, a great all-rounder, and he is coming in now to this final 5 meters with a nice controlled front crawl to get his hand to the wall first and take that touch.
And he's in 2:55.93, that's the fastest of all the times. Betsy Van now coming home in second position, and he will touch in 3:06.38. And in third spot it is Marco Maria Dolfin from Italy in 3:14.16. So good swims by the swimmers at the front of the field. They look pretty comfortable, though. I'm sure they'll have more to give in the final this evening.
Yeah, that's a nice controlled, experienced race there from Ponce Bertrand. And he enjoyed that. He looks like he really enjoyed that swim.
The swimmers just making their way down to the end of the backstroke. Here, turning on to the breaststroke. Ponce Bertrand, that's his real strength, the breaststroke. And he extended his lead over the rest of the field there. Still waiting for a couple of the swimmers to come in. The final swimmers coming in the outside lanes there. Luke Vitsasek, the 2 swimmers to finish. So we'll get the official results when these final swimmers hit the wall. Ponce Bertrand here will be confirmed as the winner, hopefully, and will progress to the final in top spot. But it's always a nervous wait for these official results to come up, isn't it, Liz, as we saw in that first heat. Never know about disqualifications.
Absolutely, it takes longer with the 200 metres individual medley because there are 4 strokes that need to be scrutinised.
So we do have confirmed results for heat number 3. Anthony Ponce Bertrand takes that one from Betsy Van and Marco Maria Dolfin. Looks like it might be good news for the host nation. I think that means that Patrick Flanagan has made his way into the final, so he'll be pleased. The next event on its way, and that is the women's equivalent 200 metres individual medley, SM6. Some well-known names to you, Liz, coming up now. Some big stars in this one.
Yeah, there's 3 heats once again for this ladies 400 metres individual medley, SM6, and it is stacked.
Sveta Mareshko from Ukraine, world record breaker yesterday. Just next to another one of the home swimmers, Nicole Turner. There's Fanielas from Hungary. Fanielas. Check for her on the breaststroke leg. There's Nicole Turner. She should have a very strong start. Very good butterflyer. Let's see what the Irish swimmer can do from lane 5. Elizaveta Mareshko is the reigning European champion, the Ukrainian. Very, very strong freestyler, Mareshko. But it is Nicole Turner, just that very slender lead, just ahead of Mareshko. But Mareshko, once they get up into their strokes, is keeping pace and maybe just edging it slightly from Nicole Turner as they are approaching the end of this butterfly leg.
And Mareshko, fresh off a world record in the 50 freestyle last night. She's got 4 great strokes. She's a brilliant all-rounder, so she can afford to let Nicole Turner get this touch down the first length because her backstroke is impressively strong. She's got 4 brilliant strokes, as I said, and she'll take a control. Obviously, she's the European champion from 2016. Eleanor Simmons, the Paralympic champion, didn't swim at those Europeans, so they're back together, back racing. We'll see Eleanor Simmons in a later heat, but here we see now Mareshko powering through that backstroke leg and opening up a lead from Nicole Turner.
Oh, very fast start there for Nicole Turner and Elizaveta Mareshko. And in the early stages, they are actually inside world record pace here, but as we know, Liz, that different disabilities, different impairments swim this 200 metres individual medley very differently.
Absolutely, and Eleanor Simmons is the world record holder, and Elizaveta Mareshko actually is an SB5 for breaststroke, whereas Eleanor Simmons is an SB6 and has a faster personal best time over the 100 metres. So Eleanor Simmons is known to swim the second half of the 200 metre individual medley, so that's a lot quicker than her first half. So that world record, those splits, they are sometimes misleading, but Mareshko, make no mistake, she has it within her grasp to go that time.
Wow, everyone getting really stretched out there. Mareshko and Nicole Turner going along very, very nicely indeed. Savalia is in 3rd place. That's the 2nd Ukrainian swimmer. Just keep an eye on this time for Mareshko. It's going to be very good. Mareshko was on great form last night, world record breaking form. Just watch her as she goes round at the wall here. Swings herself round, the legs not even touching the wall. It's all about the arms for Mareshko.
Yeah, Mareshko, her legs actually act as an anchor, so she's just got to get them round as quickly as possible. And there we see that powerful front fall that she does have. She's got a very high arm turnover, and that means that it prevents her legs from sinking, but she has absolutely no control over those. But Nicole Turner has put in a great stint here for the home nation.
Mareshko on her way now inside the last 15. It's going to be a win for the Ukrainian. Keep an eye on the clock. World record just under the 3-minute mark, so it's not going to be too far away from that. 3:04.00 for Mareshko. And Nicole Turner with that entry time of 3:12. She's going to be pretty close to that. 3:13.34 for the Irish swimmer. And she's in good position to make it through to the final. Nicole Turner, medalist at the last European Championships actually, behind Mareshko. And she's looking in good shape to be in that final tonight. There is Mareshko. Zavali touching in 3rd place in 3:31.36. But a good swim there from Mareshko this morning.
Yeah, a great heat swim there. She'll be pleased with that time.
So start there, Mareshko and Nicole Turner forged ahead on the butterfly. Nicole Turner will be pleased with her swim this morning in front of the home support. See Mareshko there pushing off with the arms, momentum, and in straight into the freestyle. 3:04.00. Time finishing there for the Ukrainian. The result is confirmed. Mareshko takes it in 3:04.00 ahead of Nicole Turner and Anastasia Zavali in 3rd position. So Nicole Turner in good position there to make that final, but a number of good swimmers to come.
Yeah, Matt will give the home nation something to get excited about. It's always, the crowd just go up a level when they've got a swimmer to shout for. And after there, we saw the success in the first event with the men, Irish representation there, and again, hopefully, Irish representation in this race tonight.
Two Great Britain swimmers in the centre lanes in this one, Maisie Summers-Newton and Grace Harvey. Two Italians on either side of them. Maisie Summers-Newton, she has been an absolute sensation in the last year or so.
Absolutely, her breaststroke world record holder now in that 100-metre breaststroke, which always sets you up for a good 200-metre individual medley.
Six swimmers in this one. There's Arianna Talamona. She'll be just inside Maisie Summers-Newton. He's on tag on the outside lane. Up at the top of your picture, and there is Maisie Summers-Newton. She'll be the favourite for this one. From an excellent 200 individual medley at the trials for the GB team. And when she gets onto the breaststroke, what strength that she has. From the start, from the dive. Maisie Summers-Newton away quickly. Grace Harvey also making her international debut, major international debut for Grace Harvey, and the two GB swimmers off to a good start.
Absolutely, and this is very much in Heat 1 we see the experience of Mereshko. In Heat 3 we'll see the experience of Eleanor Simmons, but this Heat 2, this is really the new kids on the block, and Maisie Summers-Newton's had a brilliant season. Best times this year, 3:03.79, so just a little bit quicker than we saw Mereshko go in that heat. And Grace Harvey, just a few weeks ago at the British Summer Championships, she actually took 5 seconds off her best time to go 3 minutes and 5 seconds, 0.3. So both swimmers have really similar personal best times. They really are contenders in this event.
Maisie Summers-Newton just with the edge. A real high turnover there for Maisie, just ahead of Grace Harvey. And Maisie Summers-Newton is going really, really well here, and still got her favourite stroke to come, the breaststroke.
Yeah, Maisie Summers-Newton, what she does so well on this backstroke leg is propels herself with her kick. She's got a high turnover for those short limbs, so there's no pause in her stroke. And so she just glides through, and she doesn't actually have a weak stroke.
Well, halfway point. An eye on the clock here. 1:27. Very, very fast split there. Not quite as fast as the previous heat, but still very close to world record pace. Grace Harvey trying to come back into contention now, but the two GB swimmers well ahead, and Maisie Summers-Newton really going well, forging ahead. You can really see the power in that breaststroke.
Similarly to her backstroke, there's just no pause. She's just constant high stroke, high turnover, that little whip kick leg that she's got there. There's no pause, and she knows that this is her best stroke and she's got to work it. But we know she's in good form. She did 2 best times yesterday in the 50-metre freestyle, and she's excited to be here. She had to wait for her international debut, having the World Championships rescheduled and then Great Britain not attending. So she's been chomping at the bit to get in this pool and make her mark.
And as she goes past that 150 bar, I can tell you she is inside world record pace here, held by Ellie Simmons. When Ellie Simmons went over in the world record to win the gold in Rio, she was over in 2:20.81, and Maisie Summers-Newton over in 2:18.63. So Maisie Summers-Newton, she is going for it.
Yeah, absolutely. She's got youth on her side. She won't be worrying about a final tonight. She knows she's got it in her to do a brilliant heat swim and back it up with a brilliant final swim. And I'm so pleased to see her attacking this race this morning.
Well, attacking it she is. 2:59.81 is the world record. That has just slipped by, but not by much. Great swim there in the heat from Maisie Summers-Newton. 3:01.70. In second place it will be Grace Harvey, 1 and 2 to GB. Grace Harvey 3:09.11. So Great Britain 1 and 2. A big smile on the face of Maisie Summers-Newton.
It's always nice to know that when you've put the effort in, you get to the end, you touch the board, you look at the clock, and the time is also matches the effort you put in. She'll be really happy with that, and it's exciting. It's setting us up for an exciting race this evening.
Thumbs up for Maisie. Wow, what a talent she is. 16 years of age, Maisie Summers-Newton. She's got some supporters in the crowd there. She's just looking up, but that was absolutely superb, and she meant business right from the start.
Yeah, she did. She attacked it. She went down that butterfly. Like, there was no let-up on any of her strokes. And that's youth for you. That's just the excitement and the confidence of knowing you're swimming well and knowing you're ready to take on the world.
Maisie Summers-Newton looking really strong at the end there. And back in final is in prospect here. We've seen two excellent heats there. Mereshko in the first heat, Summers-Newton in the second. Result is confirmed for heat number 2. We do have a disqualification. Peggy Sontag from Germany, but doesn't affect the top 2 places for the 2 GB swimmers. Third heat coming out now. And we see the world record holder from Great Britain, Ellie Simmonds, go in lane number 4. So Ellie Simmonds on the comeback trail, Liz.
Yeah, the long-awaited comeback to international competition for Ellie Simmonds. And she will have seen those 2 heats, but she's experienced. At only 23 years old, people forget she's been on the international circuit for 10 years. So expect her to swim a controlled, strong heat. And she's ready. She's been waiting to get back in this water. She loves this event.
She's dominated this event. She's won 3 European titles in this one. She's won 2 Paralympic titles. She's won the World Championship multiple times as well. Simmonds. This is the one she calls her own. She's the world record holder. What a swim she had to set that world record in Rio to win the Paralympic gold. She goes in the middle, centre lane, and she is away quickly. Great reaction from Ellie Simmonds. Doing a shot next to her. German, swum against each other many times. Ellie Simmonds, as she said earlier, Liz, she will be really strong in the second half of this medley.
And that's a real benefit, because when you're strong in the first half, you have to take yourself out and then hold on for dear life. But one of the benefits of the way that Ellie Simmonds swims the 200 metres individual medley is she can almost ride the wave of the other athletes, taking her to fast times, to the midway split. And then she can really turn the burners on and go for it. But again, here we see Farina Schott having a solid butterfly. Ellie Simmonds actually getting the touch. A nice little turn there. Backstroke would be probably said to be Ellie Simmonds' weakest leg of this 200 metre individual medley. But she's a great all-rounder, and she's got, again, we say it every heat session, we say it, but that benefit of being in that final heat, swimming down this backstroke leg, she might take a sneaky look at the scoreboard, see what time she went, and know that now she can control. She's really experienced, so she's got almost got a pace clock in her head.
And she'd be aware of the swims that were taking place in heats 1 and 2. She'll know what she has to do. Does she want to be in the middle with the likes of Mereshko and Maisie Summers-Newton tonight, or will she say, well, maybe I should be in an outside lane, maybe I'll go for a time? She's capable of controlling her race and being in the outside lane. What do you think she'll be?
I think Ellie Simmonds loves to race, so she'll want to be in the thick of the action tonight. But she's also, like I said, she's very experienced at 23 years old. We always forget, because she's so young still, but she won't need to be necessarily in lane 4 to be in that mix. As long as she can see the other women that she is racing, then that'll be good enough for her, and she'll be in with a great chance.
She's just pulling up now on Farina Schott as they come towards the end of this breaststroke. Simmonds, world record. She's held the world record for a number of years now. She set that new record in the Rio Paralympic Games. Excellent swim there, Ellie. To that turn, she's over first. She's half a second ahead of the German. And 2:27 is significantly slower than the other 2 heats, but she will be comfortably into the final here.
Yeah, and Ellie Simmonds knows she doesn't have the training behind her that she normally does. This is her year back. She did take a year out after the Rio Paralympic Games, which was fine, and it's done her a world of good. But she knows she doesn't maybe have the training she normally does behind her to back up 2 really, really quick swims. So she's tactically playing this so that she can give her best this evening and give herself the opportunity to win tonight. And here she comes into the final, touching the wall, 3:08.49. That's a really comfortable heat swim for Ellie Simmonds.
Yeah, looked very comfortable indeed, and it is the 3rd fastest from all the heats, just ahead of Grace Harvey by around about half a second. But Ellie Simmonds will be pleased with that. 3:08.49. What a wave up to the crowd there. She'll have her coach in the crowd supporting her here in Dublin.
Yeah, she's recently reunited with Billy Pye, her coach that took her through such amazing 3 Paralympic Games worth of results. So she's always been in touch with him, even when she moved to Manchester. And they've got such a great relationship and understanding of each other that gives her confidence, and that's worth a couple of seconds by itself.
And her comeback swim, qualification trials for the GB team. She went in and she swam an excellent time, just under the qualification standard. It was quite tough to make the GB team for these championships, and Ellie Simmonds was delighted to do that. She's working towards Tokyo, and this one was an absolute bonus for her. She's here, she's right in the mix, and she was going to challenge for the medals tonight. Ellie Simmonds takes it, 3:08.49. Results, they are just being confirmed. In that previous heat, Maisie Summers-Newton will be fastest into the final, followed by Elisaveta Mareshko and Ellie Simmonds. So the big names, the 3 big names, all in the middle of the pool. Next event is the men's 400 freestyle S8. And the new Italian on the block, Giulia Capricotti. Another one of the batch of these Italian swimmers that have come to these championships. Here's the fastest entry time into this heat. We'll see how he can go. 20-year-old Capricotti, the centre lane. 5 swimmers in this first heat, 5 swimmers in the second. Joshua Grove from Switzerland. Over there in lane number 5, so we'll have a chance here. Again, just 2 swimmers to lose from the 2 heats. See some cagey swimming. And rather 5 swimmers for this first heat. Got Fleba from the Czech Republic in lane number 2. Stefan Nakic from Serbia in lane number 3. Number 4, we have Capricotti from Italy, Joshua Grobe from Switzerland in lane 5, Ricardo Soares from Portugal, we just saw him there, he goes in lane number 6. So relatively inexperienced lineup for this first heat, Liz. Not much of experience at the major championships for any of these swimmers.
No, we're used to this S8 men's 400 metres freestyle has been dominated for so long by the Hind family from Great Britain. First, obviously, the elder brother, Sam Hind, dominating, and then handing over the baton to his younger brother, Ollie Hind. But no, this really, without any Hinds in the race for the first time in almost a decade, this really opens up this major championship field for someone else to put their name on the top of that podium.
And out first there in lane number 5, looks like Joshua Grobe from Switzerland. Talking about the Hinds, what a behind influence for this young man from Switzerland.
Yeah, Joshua Grove actually trains over in Nova Centurion with Ollie Hind and their coach there, Glenn Smith. He goes to university in Leicester and De Montfort University, but he travels over to Nottingham and Mansfield for that influence. Grove does prefer the sprint freestyle events, which may be why he's taken out this 400 metre freestyle quite quickly, but it's great to see more Nova Centurion representation. We know that they've had many successes over the years. in para swimming especially.
21-year-old from Switzerland, representing Switzerland. Gianpricotti, the 20-year-old from Italy, also making his debut in the major championships. And the Italian just keep unearthing these great swimmers, don't they?
Yes, and Gianpricotti, he was an able-bodied swimmer, and he another one of those athletes that's been uncovered. He's unfortunately got a degenerative condition, and he was still competing in the mainstream field in the able-bodied circuit, and he was unearthed by the Italian Paralympic Swimming Committee. And another youngster, he's only 20 years old, so still young, and still that new breath of fresh air that we're seeing from the Italian team. And he saw his compatriots do so well yesterday, taking home 4 gold medals from the final session on the first night, so he'll be excited to get into the water now and see what he's capable of.
And we've got the benefit of sitting right next to the Italian media team, right next to you, Liz.
It does absolutely help. It would be better if my Italian was slightly better, I'm not going to lie, but you know, one language at a time. Oof.
That's good. The inside track, Liz Johnson, inside track to all the Italian guys.
I'm trying, I'm learning from you, but at the moment it's still Joshua Grobe leading the way down in this 400 meters freestyle as they come up to another turn at the scoreboard end.
Well, top 3 places will be guaranteed a place in the final this evening. Joshua Grobe is making sure of that. He's swimming pretty well, actually. Decent pace for the Swiss swimmer. His entry time was 5:03.57. So I'm hoping to improve on that. The European Championships before never really featured in the shake-up for the medals. And especially born in South Africa. Joshua Grobe.
He's a well-travelled individual, but I think often we see with, especially the male competitors, they really get stronger as they get older. We're used to a lot of youngsters, especially the ladies, you know, dominating from their young teens right through then until their mid-20s. But with the men, often we see them growing and getting stronger, having that ability to gain muscle and really up their level of training significantly. And he's reaping the benefits of that now.
He's kind of consolidated that lead over the Italian, Gianpricotti. 3rd place is Stefan Natkic from Serbia. He has a lead of around about 3 seconds over Ricardo Soares from Portugal. So that is the tussle for 3rd position, but they're some way behind the leading 2. So getting a little bit stretched out. Joshua Grobe, he's leading them through now into this final length with around about a 2.5 second lead over Gianpricotti. Like he's working pretty hard, the Italian. Not really making much inroads into the lead of Joshua Grobe. Joshua Grobe maybe just tying up very slightly in the closing stages. As we see him heading for the final touch now. Joshua Grobe, wonder if he can just dip under the 5-minute mark. I think maybe just, 4:59.46 for Joshua Grobe. He'd be pleased with that. Gianpricotti just over the 5-minute mark, 5:02.27. Will still be guaranteed a place in the final. And the battle for 3rd position, well, Stefan Nakic from Serbia looks like he's going to win a close contest here. Ricardo Soares in 4th place has given himself a good chance of getting into that final as well. Well, there's Joshua Grobe, 4:59.46. Another thumbs up for him. He's happy with that one.
Yeah, and so often in many of these events, there's certain time markers that you want to hit, and 5 minutes is definitely one in this 400-meter freestyle S8 classification. So that will give him great confidence. It always helps. He started with intent, and then he set himself up, he gave himself a good gap, and as you said, he could just consolidate that. And then even when he started to tie up towards the end of the race, he's given himself enough of a lead to take that win. And it's always good to say that you won a heat at a major championship.
He's pole position at the moment, Joshua Grobe. And looking across there to see where Gianpricotti was. Well, he was a couple of seconds behind the Swiss swimmer. And the result is confirmed for that first heat. Joshua Grope, Shirley Pricotti are the top two, 4:59.46 and 5:02.27. To the second heat. We did have 5 swimmers in this one. Looks like we might be down to 4 here. We'll see. Yeah, no one taking the start in heat number 5. So the Irish swimmer, the home swimmer, doesn't look like he's coming out for the start there. Johnny McGrath. We do have 4 swimmers, so they'll know what the first heat did. So they'll have that target. They only now have to lose 1 swimmer. Peter Freiber, 5th place in that previous heat, is the man in danger. These 4 swimmers can challenge his time now. And 4 swimmers, Islam Dokaev, closest to us. In heat number 2 from Belgium. Lewis Drobes from Latvia. The only Latvian here at these championships. He goes in lane number 3. Inigo Lopez Sanz from Spain goes in lane number 4, and there in lane number 6, Ruben Lynn Harris from Portugal. They'll see this as an opportunity, Liz, of making a major final.
Absolutely, and not just an opportunity to make a major final, but it's a wide open event. You know, it's an opportunity to get onto a major championship podium, get yourself some major championship medals, and that's great. Sometimes that's what you need, and that's why so often when we're talking about these swimmers, quite often their debut has come at a European Championships. It's the perfect platform to experience that championship environment, represent your country, and then get the bug and realise you want to be part of this team, you want to be winning medals, and then performances just build and excel from there.
Well, 2 swimmers out in front there. 19-year-old Inigo Lopez Sanz from Spain, just half a second ahead of the Latvian Semjonovs. These 2 looking comfortable here at the front of the field in 3rd spot. Oh, it's very close for the 3rd position. Islam Dokiev on the right-hand side of your screen there, the Belgian. He's in 3rd position. Ruben Lynn Harris from Portugal in 4th place there. Not too far behind though. But stroke there for Lopez Sanz. Again, one of these swimmers. That experience, but he has been in the European final before. He was 5th place in the European Championships back in 2016, and the Spanish took a lot of their youngsters to that European Championships in Madeira.
Yeah, and we're seeing again a lot of Spanish representation. They're having a good, solid championship so far. We've seen a lot of swimmers in previous heats this morning, and it's a great learning environment because the Spanish have some excellent swimmers who, again, some are, they're all experienced, but some are really old and experienced, Sebastian Rodriguez, some are young and experienced, Sarai Gascon, and then it's a great environment to keep learning. And actually, Lopez Sanz, he trains, he's surrounded by good company, he trains at the High Performance Centre in Madrid, so really he's at that age now where he can start making real great inroads into his training, into his personal best times. And he's settled into a brilliant rhythm here on this 400-metre freestyle. He does have a weakness down the entire right side of his body, which makes it often difficult to swim these longer distance freestyle races because you can't get the balance right so much. But looking at him from these head-on shots, these underwater shots, the overhead shots, all of the shots that we see, there's no great jerkiness in his stroke.
Oh, you can clear from the underwater shots the shortness of the limbs on the right-hand side, but yeah, very, very smooth stroke here for the Spanish swimmer. And he's going away from the rest of the field. Entry time of 4:44, he was 2:22 at the halfway point. He's coming down to the three-quarter stage now. And he's increasing that lead over Semjonovs, Latvian. Going in lane 3, and also, in fact, Dokaev it is, in fact, who's gone through. And Latvia now back in 4th position. But Islam Dokiev has come through into 2nd place. Ruben Lin-Harris in 3rd spot. So it's a good start from a Latvian, but he's faded now into 4th position. And the swimmers in the top 3 spots know if they finish in the top 3, they'll be guaranteed that place in the final. But no doubt about who's going to win this one. Inigo Lopez Sanz away and clear.
Yeah, and he's reaping that reward now of putting in the effort in the early start of the race. He followed the Latvian down that first 100, was led out, built through the second 100, comfortable third 100, and now he can coast on home and save himself some energy for this evening, for the finals, because this is a wide open event and you want to give yourself the best chance to get on that podium.
Well, he's given himself a good chance to be in the centre lane tonight. Lopez Sanz be a really big favourite for this title tonight. I think he's just eased off the second half of this 400, but he is under the 5-minute mark, 4:58.98. Just slightly faster than Joshua Grobe in that first heat. I think the Spanish swimmer a little bit more to give maybe in that final. Look comfortable that second 200.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's smart swimming on a 400-metre freestyle, because it is the longest event in the para swimming programme, and there you can see he looks comfortable. If you go hard at the beginning, you know you've got the speed, and then you can just coast on home.
Another 21-year-old Lopez Sanz takes that one. Fastest time of the 2 heats. Semjonov's just finishing now, Latvian. Time of 5:41.09, so I'm not sure that's going to be good enough for him to make the final. Here is Lopez Sanz. Really see the work done on the turn. Push off for just one leg, long leg there, and finishing final stages, gliding in on his long arm. Not quite important to be on that long arm in terms of the distance races, not in the heats, but in the sprints you've got to make sure you touch with that long arm, haven't you? Makes a big difference.
It gets you to the point where you get those wins on those close races.
Lopez Sanz takes that second heat. He'll progress to the final in the top position. Move on to the women's race now, the 400 freestyle S8. We have 2 heats of this one. In the first heat, we have the gold medalist from yesterday in the individual medley, Xenia Francesca Palazzo. Irish support for Alva Kelly in line number 3. Alva Kelly starting in the water in the final yesterday. The individual medley. She's a very strong 400 freestyler, stroke quite suited to that. We'll see how she can do. She will be hoping to make the final again tonight.
Yeah, she's seeing some Irish contingent already this morning progress from heats to finals, and she'll want to keep that going, that momentum going for the home nation. We keep saying it time and time again, but there's nothing beats swimming in front of a home crowd and knowing that all the noise you can hear is genuinely cheering you on.
You experienced that in London?
Yep, London 2012. That was the single best thing about a home games for me, was the fact that everybody in the arena was rooting for you to win. So many people that have influenced your career over the years, whether it's family, friends, teachers, people that you've just met once or twice, bought tickets, came and watched, and they got to experience the finished product rather than just hearing about it when you get back from your travels.
London was a real catalyst for a number of sporting events in Great Britain as well, and they had the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow as well, and also the World Championships, the Para World Championships in Glasgow. So the Great Britain swimmers had a lot of opportunities to swim in front of a home crowd in recent years. It's the Irish turn now.
Yeah, I think we've been very fortunate in recent times locally to get a lot of home nations, and London 2012 did a great job in continuing to increase the profile and the momentum that people had for parasport and paraswimming. And we can see it now. You landed into Dublin Airport and the whole Irish team were on the adverts, on the posters. We were on the bus on the way back from the pool yesterday, and we heard on the radio about how James Scully had swum in his heat. And so that spreads around the world. And as we can see now, the Italians, a prime example, bringing through lots of youngsters. As with Palazzo here in lane 4, new team, new experience, and like a second wind for some swimmers, because that momentum has been reignited and pushed on. And so the Paralympic movement continues to grow, which can only be a good thing for our sport.
It's Palazzo, the winner from last night in the 200 medley. She looked very strong on the freestyle element of that medley yesterday, and she is continuing this good run of form, rich vein of form that the Italian team is in. She looks like she's going to qualify for this fairly comfortably. Just gone past halfway point in second position. Looks like it might be lane number 5, Duskova from the Czech Republic. Alba Kelly in third place at the moment as they go past that halfway point, but comfortably in third spot. She's ahead of the Polish swimmer Nikola Kacik and also the Estonian Jana Magi in lane number 2. At Palazzo, there seems to be no touching her. She's in great form, isn't she?
Yeah, and she'll be coming in off the confidence of that 200-metre individual medley victory last night, and that just confirms to you that you are swimming well, and the training that you've got in the bank has paid off. And this is what you train for. Go through the winter, those miserable early mornings and all that volume where you're tired all the time and you've got no energy to do anything else, but then you come into race, and when it all comes to fruition, you've got to enjoy it, you've got to be excited. And as she turns here to go into this final 100 metres, she's got that clear lead, and now she can choose what she does here. She can either pick up the speed and go for a good time, or she can relax and know that she's safely through to the final, providing any disqualifications, and set herself up for a good swim this evening.
She certainly looks relaxed there, but she's still pushing on to a decent time. Duskova still in second place. Alba Kelly still in third spot, going through the 300 mark in 4:13, the Irish swimmer. So she's coming back strongly. She's not going to be far away from her entry time, Alba Kelly. Palazzo, though, over for that final turn. The Italian, 4:28.89. Just check on the gap between her and the second place swimmer, Duskova. She comes up there, Duskova just going over in 4:44.05. So something like 15-second advantage for Palazzo. And she is going to take this one comfortably. She comes into the last 15. And Signa Francesca Palazzo will take this first heat in very good time, just over the 5-minute mark, 5:06.79 for the Italian swimmer. That looked comfortable.
Yeah, she'll try to get back and recover for this evening to be ready for that final. But here now in lane 5, also swimming well, is Duskova of the Czech Republic, coming in a time of 5:25.8, just again outside of her entry time, but comfortably through to the final.
Here's the winner, Palazzo. A big cheer for Alba Kelly as she finishes in third place in very good time, actually. 5:38.54. So wave to the crowd for Alba Kelly. The Irish fans loving this here this morning.
There was really no question though about who was going to dominate that heat, and started with intent, gave herself a lead, controlled the rest of the race, perfectly swum 400-metre heat.
The Italian team next to us, so I'm quite pleased about that one. Job done for their swimmer this morning, Palazzo.
Yeah, they always give a little punch of the air. I turned to the left to see how they react, to know if that was the plan for the heat swim, and then yeah, they seemed happy with that swim for Palazzo there.
Italian confirmed in first position there, Palazzo. Duskova, she's been a medalist in the European Championships before. Duskova will be in the final again tonight. Palazzo takes heat 1, Duskova in second place, and Alva Kelly will be in the final. Irish swimmer, third place in that first heat. Second heat now. Claire Supio from France in lane number 4. Next to the reigning champion from Denmark, Amelie Winter. Amelie Winter's got a great record in this event, the 400 freestyle. Definitely her speciality event, Amelie Winter.
Yes, in recent years, in recent competitions, it has been Amelie Winter of Denmark who has been the dominant force in this 400-meter freestyle within Europe for Denmark.
Someone's just making their way out now. There's maybe a little bit of a delay before the start. We said yesterday they can't really start the heats earlier. They can't start them before time.
No, absolutely not. I mean, as a swimmer, you get your published schedule and you do all of your preparation from your wake-up time to your breakfast time to your getting on your bus to your warm-up to your getting changed, all geared towards that start time for your race. And so it wouldn't be fair to go through the published time earlier than that, because actually you might not be ready. Whereas we did say that if there is a delay, then you can put it off, because you can always do an extra warm-up or a land warm-up. But these Danish fans, they'll be wanting to get it underway, because as you said, Winter has got such a good record in this event that they will be eagerly waiting to cheer her on.
And the S8 class has got a number of newcomers in this one, so Amelie Winter not going to have it all her own way. A number of new swimmers coming into this one. Palazzo definitely one that's come into the S8 class, and also the interesting character Claire Supio from France will swim today.
Yeah, and we saw her in great form yesterday in the 200 metres individual medley as well, getting on that podium for the bronze medal. So it's interesting, a newcomer to the French team, but not a newcomer to swimming, not a youngster, but again, entering this environment with that fresh motivation and impetus and eagerness to succeed.
Well, it looks like the swimmers now making their way out. We should have had you doing the Twitter and not delay, Liz. Yeah, you need to be all over this Twitter.
The delay was not long enough for me to pull that Twitter feed off.
Ooh. Hashtag Dublin 2018. Liz has just grabbed her phone. I don't know what Twitter feed those ones. Send Liz a message. Ask her any of these technical questions. Make them difficult. Test her.
I do technical questions, I just can't work Twitter.
That's your first technical question. How do you work Twitter? Hashtag Dublin 2018. There's Claire Supio. 50-year-old former Olympian. There's Maya Sudari Barezzo from Spain. And Amelie Winter will go in lane number 5. The reigning European champion. Supio in the middle of those 5. Amelie Winter 1 lane up, so those two are in the yellow lanes. Amelie Winter won this title 2016 and also won it in 2014 as well, so a double European champion. She was a bronze medalist in that previous championships back in 2011, so long successful record for Amelie Winter. She's behind the experienced French swimmer in the early stages, Claire Supio, who's going to be first to this very first turn.
Yes, and we're still getting to know Claire Supio. We're still learning about how she swims, but we saw her last night in the 200 metres individual medley having a strong freestyle leg and making up, trying to catch Great Britain's Megan Richter, but just running out as poor. So we know she's got good endurance. She was a 200-meter fly swimmer in 1988, and we know that she's got a good freestyle because we saw it last night on the medley. So it'll be interesting to see. But Amelie Winter will actually probably benefit here from having company, because in the past, in these European Championships, she has tended to be going it alone. And often, when you've got company, when you've got someone to swim with, it works one of two ways. It either drags you along and helps you and takes you to a good time, or you get sucked into swimming their race plan, and then it all goes out the window, and you touch the wall and you're like, oh, I thought we were going quicker. So it'll be interesting to see how Amelie Winter utilises Claire Supio in the lane next to her, to see if the experienced Danish swimmer can do well this morning and give herself an opportunity to defend those titles tonight.
She's right on the shoulder of Claire Supio here as they come down to the 150 mark. French swimmer goes over just a second ahead. Amelie Winter holding on pretty well here. Claire Supio actually third in world rankings this year, just over the 5-minute mark in 5:02.23. The rankings coming into this competition. Of course, you've had the Parapan Packs have just finished, Liz, and some strong swimmers from Australia and the USA have taken part in those Parapan Packs. Certainly in this event, some of the world's very best swimming.
Absolutely. Lakeisha Patterson of Australia and Jessica Long of America going head-to-head. Two of the great swimmers. Jessica Long obviously so dominant in the S8 classification since she burst onto the scene in Athens back in 2004. Another athlete who has been around for so long and is synonymous with amazing swimming in the para-swimming international environment. They went head-to-head, and Lakeisha Patterson actually moved on this event, broke the world record last week in this 400 freestyle for S8 swimmers, finally getting under that 4 minutes 40 barrier.
Not sure we're going to have that record challenged here in Dublin, but we do have the European title up for grabs. The European record actually stands at 4:45.67, so a good standard, that European record. It's set back in 2009. Claire Supio just seems to be going ahead of Amelie Winter, but Amelie Winter just hanging on very well indeed. Amelie Winter came back into contention, but Claire Supio just pulled away slightly again. Zodaire Borezzo from Spain lying in third place, some 10 seconds or so behind Amelie Winter, but Claire Supio really showing her strength here. She just seemed to step off the gas there in the middle. Amelie Winter was right back with her again, but Claire Supio's gone away ahead of the Dane.
Absolutely, and Claire Supio probably won't thank us for going on about her age all the time, but at 50 years old, many would be like, well, how is she still improving? But actually, it's important to remember that she's new to this environment and she's still adapting to how her impairment affects her. So she'll be learning all the time. And every time she comes to one of these meets, she'll see other athletes with similar impairments and she'll go away and she'll tweak her stroke. So she's eager and she's confident, and she will be up in the pace. She's a smart swimmer. She's got the swimmer's brain. So now it's about just using her body as best as she can. And she's doing a great job of it here as she turns into the final 50 metres.
Just slightly extending her lead there over Amelie Winter. The Danish swimmer has swum this well. We'll just keep an eye on the clock, see what time Claire Supio can do. It's going to be good enough to qualify Claire Supio for this final this evening. We had the first heat from Palazzo with a time of 5:06.79, so it's not going to be as fast as that. Amelie Winter working hard into the last 5. These two are going to be safely into that final. Claire Supio 5:11.24, Amelie Winter just behind in 5:12.11. So good swims from those two, and Amelie Winter really pleased with that one. That can't be far away from her best ever time. Amelie Winter, she has gone 5:10 before, but a very good heat swim from Amelie Winter, 5:12.11. There's the winner, 5:11.24 for Claire Supio. Third place will be Zodaire Borezzo from Spain. 14-year-old Spanish swimmer. 14-year-olds appearing at these championship lists, making us feel very old.
Yeah, well, you know, you're even older than me, but there's such
Thanks,
no worries. There's such an age range at these championships, and like we keep going on about it, but it's such a good platform. And as we've seen previously, people appear at the European Championships, and 2 years later they competed at the Paralympic Games, 4 medals and 4 great times. So hopefully that's what happens for these guys, and we see the next generation really coming through, and we can say that we were here when they started.
Set ones to watch out for in the future competitions, that's for sure. Final swimmer just making her way in now. Anna Masiek. Croatian swimmer down there in lane number 2, finishing in 6:40.48. Result is confirmed. Claire Supio takes it just ahead of Amelie Winter. A good contest between those two. And the 14-year-old Spanish swimmer Naya Zudairi Barezzo in 3rd place. That'll be good enough to qualify her for the final. And it will mean that Alva Kelly also will be in that final. The big three, Palazzo, Supio and Winter, looking like they are going to fight it out for the medals this evening, well ahead of the other qualifiers. The next event that's coming up now, looks like it might be a breaststroke event. 100 breaststroke SB11. I think we're a little bit ahead of schedule, Liz. Might have a little bit of a gap again. Get onto that Twitter.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm sure I can see the swimmers lining up to come out. And the published time is hopefully the time that the take marks beep can happen, rather than the time the athletes start to walk out. They just have to take off their jumpers and t-shirts and trainers more slowly to enable this to run on schedule.
The start list is out. Miroslav Šmirka, 54-year-old from the Czech Republic, going in lane number 4. Federico Bassani from Italy, another one of the new Italians, in lane number 5. Šmirka, just gone past your shot. Here is Bassani. Again, Šmirka, another one of these swimmers, very experienced swimmer. We've seen him over the last few years. He was a member of the Czech national team. He's an able-bodied swimmer. Lost his sight, now competing in the S11 class. And you see the swimmers wearing blacked-out goggles. Look at the blacked-out goggles. The Ukrainian swimmer there. Could be lane number 1, possibly. That's Artukov, or it might be Mikhailo Serbin next to him, a teammate. 2 young Ukrainians, one 14 and one 15 years of age. And that is Bassani, Federico Bassani, 22 years of age. This is the S11 class. In the S11 class, swimmers have no vision at all. They will wear blacked-out goggles. There is no requirement. Notice Bassani not wearing blacked-out goggles, but there is no requirement for blacked-out goggles if you actually don't have any eyes, because obviously the blacked-out goggles are to just cut out any light perception. Some of the swimmers will have very, very small amounts of partial vision, so blacked-out goggles designed to just keep everyone on the same playing field.
Absolutely, and we'll see a range of different strokes here, because there's a great difference between if you were born without sight and if you've lost your sight. Because obviously, if you were born without sight, then you have no ability to relate when someone's telling you how something should look. So it's all down to your personal interpretation. But what I love about the S11 swimming is that when people get it right, if they're all swimming in the right direction and barring any crashes, it's actually a really close race, because everybody's at the optimum of what the human body can do in that classification, which is what we're seeing down this length at the moment.
Well, they are in the S11 class. They can't be hanging about in the seats. It looks like it might be Miroslav Šmirka who is at the head of the field there. Very good start it was for Johannes Weinberg, the 16-year-old from Germany in that red cap. He looks like he might be into the wall in second position. Bassani just veering over to the right there, but he's corrected himself, and it looks like he's in third spot. But 124.57 for Schmerka, just followed home by Weinberg, 126.05, and Bassani 126.41. So Schmerka takes that one, and it's kind of, there's a lot of swimmers in this heat, 14 swimmers, so important to be in those top 3 or 4 places.
Absolutely, and obviously these swimmers, they can't see where their competitors are, so they can sometimes feel them because they've got great perception, so they'll be able to feel the waves, but ultimately they just have to go all out all of the time, and that's what makes the S11 swimming different to a lot of the other classifications. Is you don't have the luxury of pacing your race, and even when you get to the end, as we see here, being tapped and touching the wall, unless they can hear the in-venue announcer, they won't know what time they've been until their goggles have been checked and the results have been confirmed.
Yeah, the coach is not allowed to tell the swimmers exactly where they have finished until everything's been checked. Miroslav Smirka looks like he's confirmed in first place though, 124.57. Johannes Weinberg in second, and Federico Bassani in third place. And Michelo Serbin very close there. Just half a second behind the Italian. See if that's vital when they get the results of this next heat. Israel Oliver goes in the centre lane for Spain. Mindaugas Ivilaitis from Lithuania next to him in lane number 5. And Mika Dabori, first time we've seen the swimmer from Georgia, he goes in lane number 6. Swimmers come out with their coaches, with their tappers. Tappers very important to the S11 swimmers, aren't they, Liz?
Absolutely, it's vital. They have to check their goggles, they have to ensure they're in the right lane, they have to tap them at the end of the pool so that they know when the wall is coming. So much trust is put into the tappers and the assistants, and there's one at each end, because obviously the tapper can't possibly run 50 metres in the time required. So yeah, there's a big team. Safety. Absolutely, there's a big team and so many other factors that affect these S11 swimmers.
It's Viktor Smirnov, experienced Ukrainian. It's been a while since Lithuania have had a medal at the European Championships. We just won before for the Lithuanian team. 4th place yesterday. If they can one better today. These 11 swimmers are all very important to get a direction when they come off the blocks, Liz.
Absolutely, and this is what makes breaststroke, even the breaststroke is a very technical event, what makes it even more so for these S11 swimmers is in the freestyle and the backstroke, they tend to swim right up against that lane rope and use the lane rope brushing against their lats or their shoulder as a guide to they're going in the right direction. But with breaststroke, if you do that and you catch your toe on the lane rope, I can promise you there's nothing more painful. So it's a really difficult technique to master.
There's the tappers at the end. 2 pretty good turns there. And 2 guys that know each other pretty well, Viktor Smirnov and Israel Oliver, the experienced men in this one. Israel Oliver, 4 times a Paralympian, silver medalist at the last 2 European Championships. And Viktor Smirnov, well, we'll say about him, 15-time Paralympic medalist, Viktor Smirnov, for that diving at breaststroke. Real contrast in styles here.
Absolutely, and both very, very powerful. Israel Oliver gliding for longer, Viktor Smirnov more of a powerful up dive in, but both very effective strokes. Israel Oliver coming here there to take the touch in 1:18.18 seconds.
2 big names in this one, we'll take that one. Ivilaitis in lane number 5, just being tapped at the end there. And he gets into 3rd spot, 126.55. Israel Oliver. We'll take that one in 118.18. Not far behind for Viktor Smirnov. Gigalitis in third position. And just looking at the times there, it's going to be very close in terms of bronze medal position when they get into the final. But looks like the big two might be away and cleared, certainly in terms of the times they've done here. Here is Shreel Oliver just getting ahead. Big tap on the head for Viktor Smirnov. Those are the top two. Gigalitis in second and Nika Tavouri from Georgia in third place. Maybe good enough to make the Georgian into that final. Asmontas from Lithuania is the fifth place swimmer. Just getting ahead of Drog and Sloboda at 6 and 7. Someone's just coming out of the water. They're getting their goggles checked now. And the next event will be on its way and will be to the next side, the other side of the pool. 50 freestyle, one length of the pool. The results of the S11 are just confirmed on the scoreboard here. Oliver and Smirnov will be 1 and 2 into that final, and it's Johannes Weinberg of Germany, third place, as they go into the final later on this evening. Looks like we did have a little bit of a correction for that previous score. Looks like there has been a disqualification in the first heat. Miroslav Smirka disqualified for the Czech Republic. So again, seen some disqualifications this morning, not too many, but a couple of vital ones. People that have won the heats have been disqualified in those heats, so won't progress to the final. So on the S11, swimmers with a visual impairment, they go to the S3 class. Again, the S3 class, those with physical impairments, S1 to 10, and the S1 being the most severe impairment. So this is the S3 class, so you'll probably find swimmers with maybe affected in 3 or 4 limbs.
Yeah, and quite severely so. So we'd expect to see a number of varying techniques. The lead change hands, swimmers play to their strengths. So it always makes for an interesting, exciting race. 50 metres, in these lower class events, a lot can happen in a 50-metre race.
Again, we'll have a range of disabilities here. Mikael Fredriksson is affected in all 4 limbs, but he has very little use of his arms. The Swede will go off in lane number 3. Length of the pool, Yannis Kostakis there on the left-hand side. Greek swimmer next to the 17-year-old Yannis Ostapenko in 5, and the young Greek swimmer Christos Miletis. 2 Greeks all going in together. Yannis Kostakis will be the favourites for this one. It's his 6th European Championship for the Greek. Been around for a while. There's Josiah Top, 15-year-old from Germany. Looks pretty relaxed.
Wave to your fans. If they've made the effort to travel this far then and support you, then you have to deliver, have to keep them entertained. And while they're waiting, very exciting. You can see there he's got a limb deficiency in his upper arms, but also a shorter right leg, and he has a platform that he stands on to make up for that height difference. There you see it looks like a red boot from a distance. It was actually attached to a pole that he tucks under his arm. So many different athletes not just working on how they can adapt their strokes, but also sometimes you share ideas about how you can adapt your lifestyle too.
Some of the body markings of the swimmers been obscured by the black marker there. The go-ahead being given to the swimmers to get in the water. Some of the swimmers will go over the top on the timing pad, some will go in from the sides. So the 2 Greeks coming in there under the lane ropes. So there is Christos Miletis in lane number 2. Ukrainian swimmer Denis Ostapchenko will just be lifted in, dropped unceremoniously into the water. 17-year-old will be held by the feet. We saw this in the class races, the Class S2 and S1 races, techniques, swimmers being held by the feet at the start.
Yeah, and it just prevents any drag from their legs then, so they can get up and into their stroke as quickly as possible.
So top from Fredriksson, going from the dive, the other three going from the water, and Fredriksson really has to use this start to his advantage here, because he hasn't got the arm pull that the others will have. And interestingly, some of the swimmers going on backstroke, it's a freestyle event, some of the swimmers going on their front, it's just the preference. What is the fastest stroke that they have in the water? It is a freestyle, they can choose which stroke they have to do.
Yeah, and there we see Ostapchenko in lane 5. He had a deficit at the start, but now he's powering through and he's making the most of it. He doesn't have a long arm stroke, but he has a very high stroke rate, and for that little time that his hands are in the water, there's a constant movement forward.
It's very wide, he's not able to get his arm, what we said, like you would see traditional backstroke, but a very good time indeed. 50.38 for Ostapchenko. Well, excellent time there. He's right bang on his entry time of 50.32. So very good swim there from Denis Ostapchenko. Second place was Kostakis from Greece, and the young German swimmer Josiah Top in third spot there, so he'll be happy with that one. 56 for Josiah Top, so an improvement for him. He was relaxed and he swam a very good swim there, the German.
Yep, he was getting one of the best starts, but once they were up into the halfway point, it really was all about Ostapchenko's just stroke rate crashing into the wall there, not having the luxury of choosing how he finishes, finishing strongly with his head and making sure there was no question about the time he went.
Ostapchenko takes that first heat, 50.38. Jonas Kostakis in second position, just ahead of Josiah Top from Germany. And Mikhail Fredriksson, I'll be watching this second heat with interest. 1 minute 0.61 for the Swede there, and that'll be the target for the swimmers just about to come out now on this second heat. In the centre, it's Vincenzo Boni and Miguel Angel Martinez Tuelo. Those are the two that will go and contest the lead for this one. Again, a number of experienced names in this one. Not so many youngsters in these lower classifications, but a few coming through, like we saw Top in that previous heat there, just 15 years of age. But some experienced campaigners in these heats to come. The youngest one in this one is Kamil Otovsky. There he is, 18 years of age there. He goes in lane number 2.
He's 11 years younger than anybody else in his heat group. So just shows that actually the longevity of these lower class athletes, they get stronger as they get older, they adapt their strokes, they get better, and so they do have that ability then. They're always strengthening themselves because they don't have as much function as obviously the higher classifications. So they build up strength, they're often more susceptible to illness, but their careers seem to be stretched out, and they seem to learn more as they go off each other, and they've got a really good community and they all get on really well.
Yeah, a number of them competed against each other for a number of years here. Vincenzo Boni, better known as a backstroker, he's going in the freestyle event here. There he is. He was one of the swimmers, one of the Italian swimmers who was part of a small squad a few years ago, and that squad has just grown now. It's a huge team that the Italians have got here. Looks like all swimmers starting from the water. Some of the swimmers on their backs. The swimmers already head down into the water at the start. That was Miasadov for Ukraine, but straight into familiar backstroke, Vincenzo Boni from Italy.
Yeah, nice straight arm, high stroke, straight, contrasting to Ostapchenko in the first heat, we see he does have the ability, the range in that shoulder motion, but then he doesn't have quite the level of propulsion, so it evens itself out. But great swimming there, leading the spearhead. That overhead shot shows just how that lane 4 spearhead really come into fruition, just as is always planned when you sign up for the start sheets.
It's been unusual, we have to say, this last couple of days. We've seen some surprises from the outside lanes, but no surprises this time. Vincenzo Boni taking that one in 48.68, so a good swim there for the Italian. And it's Martinez Trujillo for Spain in second place, and Palmarchuk for Ukraine in third spot. But Vincenzo Boni swimming on his back, using these nose clips there, and he will be comfortable in that one. He'll take that one 48.68. Pleased with that morning swim.
Absolutely looking comfortable, looked like he did exactly what he set out to do. No underwater kick from him, straight off, being held at those feet, straight off, flat against the water though. And just see that, the speed at which he turns his arms, just no pause in the stroke.
Gliding into the end there, Vincenzo Boni. Italian's happy with that again, so we can see alongside us. And no wonder, he's won that heat, 48.68. He will be the fastest into the final, just a couple of seconds faster than the first heat winner, Denis Ostapchenko, who swam in 50.38. So Italian will be the main man as they go into that final this evening. We move on to another heat. The swimmers now in the 50 freestyle S4. Saw some of these swimmers yesterday, and man, we're going to see in the second heat what a swim that he had, the young Israeli Ami Dadon. He's in the second heat. In his first heat we have two of the medalists from last night, David Smetany, Michael Schoenmaker, going in 4 and 5. We have a little bit of a form guide, of course. Last night's event in the 100 freestyle. Someone's moving down to the half distance now. Michael Schoenmaker there had a very good swim in the 100. He was out fast, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. We know he's got the speed. Just got overhauled towards the end of the race, but showed us good form and a good insight into what we can see in this 50-metre freestyle, or expect to see in the 50-metre freestyle.
Ariel Malyar from Israel. Rovina Radets next to him. Incredible record of European Championships, over 20 medals for the Ukrainian there in lane number 3. Most of them in the S3 class. He's now swimming up into the S4 classification. These swimmers, a little bit more ability than the swimmers we saw in the S3 class. But in the centre lanes, the two yellow lanes, Smetany and Schoenmaker, now trying to play catch-up. Very good start from Mats Topkin from Estonia in lane 6. He's been caught now by the big men in the middle.
Yeah, David Smetany here looking strong. We're used to him playing smart heats, but you can't afford to do that in a 50-metre. You need to get those fast switch fibres going. He's definitely doing that as he comes in to take this touch in 41.32 seconds.
Apart from Smetany, he was the champion in this event. Right back in 2009, David Smetany, a silver medalist last time in 2016. So 41.32 for him, half a second outside his entry time. Smetany, that entry time in Sheffield in the World Series event back in June, so he looks good there, winning that heat. David Smetany, Schoenmaker just behind in second place. And a good start from Mats Topkin, and that held him in good stead there. He finishes third, the Estonian.
Yeah, interestingly, he dived in, got the maximum speed out of his legs that he could, and then flicked over onto his back. He used that fly kick that we've come to recognise.
David Smetany takes that one ahead of Schoenmaker and Mats Topkin. Vino Radets in fourth place. The second heat to come. Again, we've seen all the swimmers that we saw last night. The young man, watch out for him in lane 6. Ami Omer Dadon, the winner of the 100 freestyle. Darko Duric from Slovenia goes in line 4. Arnos Petracek, someone who's been in record-breaking form recently. A good backstroker, Arnos Petracek, goes in lane number 3. Here's Darko Duric. He'll go from the dive. See, affected in all his limbs. One arm, Darko Duric. Petracek also go from the dive there. Petracek to use that butterfly kick motion. Good start from the Czech swimmer.
Yeah, they were held on the block there. We saw Petracek in lane 3, Duric in lane 4, both diving for the block, but Petracek using that stronger limb in the legs that he has, whereas Dukic pulling himself right back and launching himself forward off of the block with that right arm, as we see him now pulling, to try and catch. Petracek has still got that lead, but obviously needs to keep an advantage, as they come into the wall, he needs to hit that time pad with his head, whereas the other swimmers will have the hand to touch the scoreboard.
Well, they all closed up on Petracek in the closing stages, and the champion from last night, Dadon, is the man who gets to the wall first. It was just on a diagonal line there, Dadon, and Derevensky, Darko Duric and Petracek, but the swimmers in lane 6, lane 5, lane 4 getting faster as they went through. Petracek was holding on, and Dadon was the man who gets the touch there. Good swim there, 41.19.
Well, yeah, we talked about how in the earlier races we saw the spearhead formation down the pool. That was not there just then, as Dadon left it right until those closing stages to try and chase down Petracek and Duric, who had the brilliant starts. Dadon left it as he goes into the 5 meters. He's still not in the lead, and there we go. We see him take that final touch, using every single one of those 50 meters.
Interesting that the lead just kind of changed about Dadon reaching for the wall. But lane 6 was travelling faster than lane 5. Lane 5 was travelling faster than lane 4. Lane 4 was travelling faster than lane 3. And they all kind of changed positions in the closing stages. But that promises to be a cracking final. Ami Omer Dadon takes that one, 41.19. He's just 0.1 of a second faster than David Smetany from the first heat. But the top 6 swimmers all within a second or so for that final this evening. Should be an absolute cracker. Still at the top end of the pool, the scoreboard end, and we have backstroke events now. The men's 50 backstroke S5. Again, some big names in this one, Liz. First heat sees the double European champion in this event, Andrew Mullen, next to Francesco Bocchiardo. We saw him yesterday, world record swim in the 200 freestyle.
Yep, and once again we're seeing some more Turkish entrants. They've got a nice strong squad. They've a number of swimmers, seeing Turkish young, got a full age range. So in lanes 2 and 3 is Otraki and Roglu. So good strong Turkish representation.
There's Roglu, really been the standard bearer for the Turkish swimmers at the major championships. Roglu, I remember him winning the gold medal in the butterfly back in the Berlin Europeans back in 2011. New start of something for Turkish swimmer. There's Andrew Mullen. He's starting. He's got these starting devices. They all got to be approved by the officials prior to the swimmers using them. Andrew Mullen using that to good advantage. Roglu next to him in lane number 3, got off the wall well, but Mullen up quickly into his stroke.
Yeah, Roglu there and Andrew Mullen keeping each other company, using the full 15 meters underwater. But now that we're up back to this familiar formation, there it is, the spearhead that Andrew Mullen in lane 4 is leading out. He'll want to put down a good marker in his first race at this championship.
Andrew Mullen is the reigning European champion. Coming into the wall, he is going to touch first. I'll keep an eye on the clock here. 36.93 for Andrew Mullen. Not a bad start at all for for Great Britain's Andrew Mullen. In second place it was Bocciado, was finishing fast, 39.41, and Eroglu from Turkey in third, 42.93. But a good swim for Andrew Mullen from Great Britain. And we just check the time there. Well, 37.01 was a European record, and Andrew Mullen inside that European record time, 36.93 for Andrew Mullen, new European record for the man from Great Britain. Well, Andrew Mullen, so by surprise there. An excellent time there for Mullen. And he looked comfortable as well, went off fast. Took that European record in the heats. Excellent. So Andrew Mullen takes that one in, a new European record, 36.93, ahead of Bocciado and Eroglu. The next heat is right behind the blocks. Semenenko there, the Ukrainian, will be a big threat. Miguel Luque there, the Spanish swimmer, experienced Spaniard. Anthony Ponce Bertrand is back in the water again. An Italian, Antonio Fantin, goes in lane number 5. Lane number 6, Zolt Veretsky, probably the most experienced swimmer here at these championships. How many European championships do you think he's been to and medalled in, Liz?
Oh, you put me on the spot, haven't you?
I have.
You know the answer, but it's in front
of you,
don't you?
Yeah, I've written it down.
Give me a clue. 4.
It's more than 8 and less than 10.
9.
Correct.
Woohoo!
9 European championships and 9 medals for Zolt Veretsky from Hungary. Can he make it in Magic 10? It'll be a tough ask. The man from Hungary. Great start for Semenenko. Well, I just wonder how long that European record for Andrew Mullen is going to last, because Semenenko is away and clear in the early stages. May well be inside that time.
Great start from him. We saw him, he was holding onto a towel in order to get the best reach off the start and that momentum. We see him there using that fly leg kick, that undulation coming from the hip. Head very still. He'll head into this final turn, touch the wall with his head.
And there he is, and it is inside the European record. It's inside the world record for Semenenko. 34.80 for the Ukrainian swimmer. 34.80 is inside the world record, which was held by Daniel Diaz of Brazil. He has beaten it by 0.15 of a second. Semenenko takes the second heat in a world record time. Well, I didn't think the European record was going to last too long, but the Semenenko, well, he's a quality swimmer. Now swimming in the S5 class. I didn't really expect the world record to go. Daniel Diaz's world record, beaten by 0.15 of a second.
Great start there from Semenenko. Using that underwater, it is quicker. If you are just fly kicking, it is quicker to do it under the water, providing you don't waste any oxygen, don't lose oxygen. And there we see him. He didn't die off. So often we see these swimmers who just use an leg kick lose pace, but he powered into the wall and got the reward of a world record.
He certainly was trying for that. Really wrapped the finishing board, the timing board with his head there, looking up for the time. 34.80. Excellent time there for Semenenko. Yaroslav Semenenko takes that second heat in a world record time Antonio Fantini in second, and Anthony Ponce-Bertrand in third place. But great swim from Semenenko. What can he do in the final? Can we see something better? Well, things have just hotted up. It's 2 records there in that 50 backstroke. Good swim from Andrew Mullen. But he must have been looking on at that second heat as well and thinking, oh boy, what do I have to do to get another gold medal to retain my European title?
Yeah, and he'll come in very focused tonight. He loves a challenge. He's used to good competition. So exciting, but he'll have his work cut out this evening to rival Semenenko.
Well, 200 freestyle for men, but back to the S14 class, swimmers with an intellectual impairment. Just 3 swimmers in this first heat. We have had a withdrawal from this heat, so really, with only 5 swimmers in the second heat, they're all going to make it to the final, so they're all just swimming for a lane now in this first heat. Yannick van der Boot, Jordan Catchpole, and Nader Khalili. These are the 3 swimmers in this heat number 1. Swimmers back to the bottom end now. This is the S14 class, Liz. Swimmers with an intellectual impairment.
Yeah, and so again, we'll see a range of techniques and tactics because a lot of these athletes have difficulty processing the instructions that are given to them. So even though they have physical capability to have a textbook technique, sometimes they just don't have the processing skills to make that happen once they get into the water. Jordan Catchpole, great to see him for Great Britain. He'll be looking forward to this, getting on for his first race at this championship.
He's another one who was supposed to go to the World Championships last year. He's had to wait a little to make his debut. There's Khalili. There's Jordan Catchpole. He's got an entry time just over the 2-minute mark. He'll be one of the favourites to take a medal in this one. The world record holder goes in the next heat. Jordan Catchpole. Oh, his place in the final is secure, barring any disqualification, so he just has to make sure.
Obviously, quite often these athletes, you don't find out that someone hasn't turned up to their race until you're in the call room, and depending on your impairment, quite often a swimmer then change their tactic, but a lot of the time the S14 swimmers rely on their coaches to feed them their tactics. And once they're in the call room, they have no communication with those coaches. So actually, it could be, you'd often see swimmers then completely decide to go easy, just not get disqualified, plod through the swim and go for the final. But these S14 swimmers, many of them won't have that capability to process that information. So it's likely that we'll still see them attack these races.
Well, that's certainly what Jordan Catchpole is doing. Very fast first 50 there. 27.65. How are we going as they come down to the halfway point? It's a very relaxed stroke, Jordan Catchpole. Breathing to his left hand side, a nice tumble turn there. 58.58 for Jordan Catchpole. Is a 3-second advantage over the other 2, Van der Poel and Khalili are having a close contest here, but Jordan Catchpole looking good, well away at the front.
In Great Britain are very strong in the S14 classification group. Out of the 24 swimmers in this squad, 7 of them are in the S14 classification. And Jordan Catchpole, so he's got great role models, great competition within his squad, but also he is the Junior World Series champion for 2018. So we know he's got good form, we know he's swimming well, and he's attacking this race just as we would expect.
Well, Jordan Catchpole has big advantage now, as he's coming down to the final stages. He's 18 years of age. It's a very good contest for second, you have to say, but Jordan Catchpole is the only one in the shot here. That black cap of Great Britain coming into the last 5 metres now. He's just going to be over the 2-minute mark, just relaxing a bit as he comes in, strokes into the final stages here. It's going to be Kaliri for second place, Van der Poel in third, but no doubt about the winner of that heat. That was Jordan Catchpole. Great swim from the Great Britain man, and he will go into the final with that time, 2:04.59, which is right in the midst of things. So a good swim there for Jordan Catchpole. Took it out very fast, it was very good reaction. And once they got into the stroke, led really pretty much all the way. Sure of that victory, 2:04.59 for Jordan Catchpole. One more heat to come. I'll wait for confirmation of that result. Jordan Catchpole is confirmed in first position, and in the second heat we see the world record holder. That's Tom Hamer of Great Britain. He goes in lane number 4. Kyle Jorink from Netherlands in 5. Misha Palazzo from Italy in lane number 3. Tom Hamer going to be firm favourite for this one, Liz. Great performance this year, winning Commonwealth Games gold in the Gold Coast in Australia in April, and setting a new world record in doing that.
Yeah, and Tom Hamer, he's a brilliant racer, but he is one of those athletes that has really had to learn not to go all out straight from the gun, because he's got the speed, he loves to race, but as a youngster he used to go so quickly down the first half of the race, then people would just touch him out. So he's worked really hard with his coaching team and his support network to figure out a way to understand his pacing. Obviously, again, in this race, there's nobody really that can challenge him for that gold medal. So he knows that this morning he can sit with the rest of the field, as we're seeing, this overhead shot, and then just turn on the burners whenever he wants to, if he needs to get himself a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, he's very strong, Tom Hamer. He's developed over the past few years, and a great coaching team behind him, as you said, Liz.
Yeah, and he's based at the Manchester High Performance Centre now. He did start off in his local club in Burnley Bobcats, and they worked really hard with him, and he was phenomenal. But in the last 4 years, we've really seen him step up. He's changed his training schedules, he's changed his diet, his physique has changed, and he is reaping the rewards, as we saw with a world record earlier this year at the Commonwealth Games.
Well, Tom Hamer lying in third place at the moment. Kjell Jorink from Netherlands, and the man we saw in the breaststroke was Vasil Krajink from Ukraine, also going well in that yellow cap. The bronze medalist last night in the breaststroke, and Kjell Jorink going very well, but Tom Hamer not really panicking. He knows that he will be in the final, and I'm sure he'll have a lot more to give, and he's just beginning to forge through now, just making his presence known to the two swimmers around him. He may even take this one, maybe not. No, Jorink takes it in 2:03.60, and Tom Hamer, well, he showed his strength just in the closing stages there, showed that he had a lot left there, Tom Hamer.
Yeah, brilliant, and he was left that little spurt in there just so he knows, just to wake his body up a bit, because there is a benefit to swimming heats and finals, and it is so that your body isn't shocked into having to just turn on and go really quickly and fast. But it's nice there for Jorink of the Netherlands to get that number 1 next to his name and say that he won the heat and he qualifies fastest for the final.
He does indeed. It's all pretty close in terms of the qualification. Tom Hamer just coming back there at the end, but Kjell Jorink taking that one just on the touch. Half a stroke ahead of Tom Hamer. It was a comfortable swim for Tom Hamer. It was a good swim from Kjell Jorink from the Netherlands. 2:03.60, 2:03.84 for Tom Hamer. Vasil Krajink in third position. It's the women's equivalent now, 200 freestyle S14. in this first heat. 5 swimmers. Jessica Jane Applegate, obviously the Paralympic champion in this event in London 2012. Famous victory for the Great Britain swimmer on her home soil.
Yes, you would say, some would say that was somewhat of a shock, and then she became renowned in this event, and then in recent years she really struggled, I think, with the increase in pace, and just actually sometimes you just fall off the pace. You know, you surprise yourself, you leap forward, and you then struggle to find your form again. But what she has done, again, another example of a swimmer who's got a brilliant support network. Her family are very supportive of her, her club, her coach. They've got great relationships. She's been with them a very long time, and they've powered through, and now we're really seeing her step up again and be the quality swimmer that she deserves to be, and the perseverance is paying off for her.
She's going really well at the halfway point. One more heat to come after this one. We've got 5 swimmers in this heat, 5 swimmers in the next. We just have to lose 2 before they progress to the final. Jessica Jane Applegate looking really smooth here. She won the Paralympic title, as I said, in 2012. She was silver medalist in Rio beside her teammate Bethany Firth, who took the gold. She's been a world champion in this event. She hasn't claimed the European title, though twice a silver medalist. She'd love to go one better, Jessica Jane.
Yeah, and as I said, she's in great form this season. She's really found it, and she's confident again, and she's happy, and she's loving her swimming, and her results are starting to translate to the effort that she's putting into her training. So I would say that this is probably her best chance to get that gold medal at the European Championships.
Well, Jessica Jane coming down now. Jessica Jane Applegate will take this one. She leads the world rankings this year in 207.67. She's going to be just about there, so not quite a season's best, but not too far away. 208.66 for Jessica Jane Applegate. She's followed by Pernilla Lindberg of Sweden, who won the world title last year in 2017. And in third spot, Michelle Alonso Morales, silver medalist last night in the breaststroke. Jessica Jane Applegate, she said, Liz, looks very happy with that.
Yeah, she's just back to loving her swimming, you know. I think she takes everything so personally, because she gives her heart and soul every time. And sometimes you just have seasons where the results don't go your way. But she's bounced back, she's been really resilient, and now she's back. And I'm so glad to see that she's getting those results and getting those times under her belt that she's worked so hard to achieve.
She's pleased to be in the water at these championships, and pleased with that heat swim in 208.66, Jessica Jane Applegate. And the start sheet for the next heat sees 2 Great Britain swimmers, Bethany Firth and Louise Fides in 4 and 5. Netherlands swimmer Amber van der Kroek in number 3. Bethany Firth there, centre lane, world record holder. Very fast time of 202.09, set in Glasgow in 2016. So we just have 4 swimmers taking the start this time. So we don't have anyone in lane 2. We do have Amber van der Kroek nearest to us, Bethany Firth, the world record holder, in lane number 4. Louise Fides in lane 5, winner of the breaststroke last night. And Eva Corrado Tejeda from Spain. The left-hand side of your picture, right at the top there. She goes in lane number 6. Bethany Firth out fast though, 28.31. And a great Rio Paralympics, didn't she?
Yeah, and then she had a great reaction to the gun, which has got her out and got her in the lead. But yeah, Rio 2016 Paralympic Games could not have gone any better for her. She had a brilliant season. Her time that she did, the world record, was from earlier that year. And at the Paralympic Games, she just got in and she raced, and she came away with 3 gold medals and a silver, which was to be expected. Breaststroke, as we said last night, probably her weaker event, but she still got a silver medal at the Paralympic Games. And she She's really struggled a lot through her career with injury and illness, but when she's on form, it's really difficult to find a swimmer that's capable of getting anywhere near her.
Well, there's no one near her at the moment. Louise Fides maybe trying to make a comeback there in lane number 5. As Bethany Firth really slowing down, remarkably changing pace there, and let the other two catch up with her. She went out under the 1 minute mark for the first 100, which was a couple of seconds slower than Jessica Jane Applegate, but a real reduction in pace there for Bethany Firth in that third length.
Yeah, Bethany Firth, since the Rio Paralympic Games, has struggled to find her form, has taken a break, has refocused, and so she's back. But we are at that midpoint of this Paralympic cycle, and so you can play around with your race tactics, especially when you know that you're pretty safely through to the final as long as you put in a decent heat swim, and I think that's what we saw her do there.
Yeah, she still looks pretty comfortable. She's still going to be second in this heat. Louise Fides looks back, a little bit confused by her teammate there, I think, saying, "What happened to you, Bethany?" Bethany says, "No problem, it's under control." Smiles for the GB ladies, 2:13.14 for Louise Fides. Bethany Firth there in second position, just ahead of Van der Kroek from the Netherlands, but a comfortable qualification for the two GB swimmers. And Bethany Firth looked great in that first 100, going out really strongly.
Yeah, she's got the capacity and the training behind her throughout her whole career to back that 100 metres up, and I'm pretty sure that that's what she will have been going for this morning, see what sort of kind of speed she had. But in the end, it was breaststroke champion who takes the result, Louise Fides.
Louise Fides, 2:13.14 with Bethany Firth next to her in 2:15.81. Pretty comfortable for the two GB swimmers in that heat. We can bring you the confirmed result from heat 1, and Great Britain top again. Jessica Jane Applegate, 2:08.66. She will be fastest into the final this evening. Just clearing up some of the previous results. The races were coming thick and fast here. But the result of heat 1 of the men's 200 freestyle S14, Jordan Catchpole was confirmed in first position ahead of Nader Khalili. So heat 2, Michael Jorink from the Netherlands just getting in ahead of the world record holder Tom Hamer, 2:03.60 against 2:03.84. So the next event coming out now, which is the heats of the men's 100 freestyle S9. 3 heats in this one again. A number of the swimmers are under the 1 minute mark, so it might well be the target. You see Antonio Maria Alcaraz and David Grachat in 4 and 5, Spain and Portugal. S9 class, Liz, always used to be very, very competitive. We saw big numbers in the S9 class, and that hasn't disappointed this time. 3 heats and 3 very, very fast heats. They're going to have to really move to make the final this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. There is no luxury here in any of the heats to hang around and see what the other competitors are doing, because there's such a little difference between all of the athletes.
Maria Alcaraz from Spain. He's previously European record holder who goes in lane number 4. David Grachat won bronze medal in this event at the European Championships in 2016 in his home country of Portugal. It's in Madeira. David Grachat, that was an emotional night for Portuguese swimmer to get the host country's first medal in their European Championships back in 2016. Rashat down in 4th at the moment. Maria Alcaraz, some a very good leg in the Spanish relay last night, looked in good shape, and he leads them through.
And it's great to see him back in good shape because he's really struggled. He's always there or thereabouts on the world rankings, but then when it comes to major championships or crunch time of the season, often he's hit by illness or injury. So it's great to see him putting in a great, strong performance here and reaching his potential.
Well, Maria Alcaraz is going to finish in first position there, 58.14, good swim. Rashat came through in the closing stages there to claim second, just ahead of Hugo Didier from France. And the top three under the 1 minute mark, and Maria Alcaraz will be happy with that swim there. I think it was 2016, but Maria Alcaraz didn't actually make the final of the S900 freestyle, so he's making no mistake this time. He's put himself in great shape to make that final.
Yeah, and then we can see again the spearhead that we love to see develop. Because Maria Alcaraz couldn't afford to hang around in that first heat, and he made no mistake. He should be in the final this time round.
Three swimmers under the 1 minute mark in Heat 1 of the men's 100 freestyle, led by Jose Antonio Maria Alcaraz from Spain. Heat 2 swimmers behind the blocks now. Great Britain's Lewis White goes in lane number 4. He was a silver medalist last time in 2016. Lineup as well. There's Barry McClements, a home swimmer, really hoping to make that final. Leo Lehtinen-Mäki, 50 metre specialist, might be out fast. The Finnish swimmer, Lewis White, really pushed on up the rankings, the 18-year-old in recent years. His debut 2 years ago, took a silver medal as a 16-year-old in Funchal in Portugal, hoping to do something similar today, if not go one better. Lewis White just about hitting the front now. Lehtinen-Mäki, the Finnish swimmer, the 50 specialist, being eclipsed there in the early stages. Good start for Lewis White.
Yeah, Lewis White first burst onto the international scene as a 400-metre freestyle swimmer, but he's actually seen, as you say, Paul, his speed has developed over the last couple of years since we first saw him in action in Funchal, and he's really starting to attack this 100-metre freestyle. Great Commonwealth Games, silver medal, great motivation to get your sprinting there, and here we see him leading out the field.
He's been followed by Gino Quintano in lane 5 for Portugal, but it is going to be Lewis White. He's going to be first to the wall here, and he is 56.77. Great time there for Lewis White, exactly the same as his entry time. So consistent start for Lewis White. I'll be pleased with that one. Yeah, he's happy. First position there. Gino Quintano came through for second, 58.18. And Leo Lehtinen-Mäki in third place, 59.54. So again, three swimmers under the 1 minute mark.
And now we can see the athletes with the arm impairments kicking really strong kick right from the word off and driving the motorboard. Look at that white water that's coming from Lewis White there, really strong into the wall.
Lewis White takes Heat 2 of the men's 100 freestyle S9, 56.77 ahead of Gino Quintano from Portugal. And the third heat on its way. In that third heat, we shall see the European record holder and the European champion side by side. Swimmer there, Malte Braunschweig. Simone Barlam, European record holder, goes in lane 4 in this third heat of the men's 100 freestyle S9. Simone Barlam again had such a good World Championships last year, winning the world title. But man, there's been a real leader of the Italian team in recent years is Federico Morlacchi, right next to him in lane number 5.
Yeah, Morlacchi has definitely led the charge of this new age Italian swim phenomenon that we've been experiencing. But actually, Simone Barlam, he does have such a great height advantage over Morlacchi. Morlacchi obviously such a brilliant medley swimmer, butterfly swimmer, but it really is Simone Barlam in that relay last night was very successful, took everybody by surprise to take that victory, and here he's looking comfortable leading from the front.
Yes, he's been pressured by Malte Braunschweig with the red cap of Germany, but it is the Italian Simone Barlam. He holds a European record at 56.09, and the other two closing on him. It's going to be outside that record time, but it's still very relaxed looking swim there from Barlam. In second position it was Federico Morlacchi, and in third place was Braunschweig, and 4 swimmers going under the 1 minute mark. And last swimmers in that last heat, they knew what they had to do and they went for it, but Barlam looked relaxed at the front of the field.
Yeah, Barlam coming in off that relay swim last night. When you're big and strong and you need to recover, it's good to get in, do a heat swim that's comfortable, blow away the cobwebs, but really get feeling fresh and get out of your system the night before a swim, and he definitely managed to do that.
The two Italians side by side there. They should make it into the final. Simone Barlam, 57.88. He'll be second into that final this evening. Federico Morlacchi in next position in that heat, 58.10. Great Britain's Lewis White into the final in first position, but some big names behind him. As we go to the women's 100 freestyle S9. 2 heats of this S9 event. You see the Paralympic champion in 400 freestyle in that middle lane, Nuria Marquez Soto of Spain. Here's Sofia Konkli from Hungary. She'll go in lane number 3, but there is Nuria Marquez Soto, the Spanish swimmer. S9 class, of course. Swimmers affected in one limb, so we see the below elbow single arm amputees and the above knee single leg amputees come together here, and it's again, she said, there's a real contrast in styles for the different types of impairment.
Yeah, and over the course of the events, the whole programme and the races themselves, the classification does balance out, but obviously there are some races where one type of impairment is favoured over another. And so there we see Marquez Soto slower off the block because she's got that one leg missing, so she's got to push off just with one leg, whereas the arm amputees, they get away better. But then once you're up and into your stroke, as we can see now, Marquez Soto, strong, balanced, easier stroke. It just looks more comfortable because your legs are your biggest muscles, so they start to feel the burn a lot earlier than your shoulders. Though don't get me wrong, you know, because Marquez Soto's shoulders will be feeling the pain too.
Well, here she comes in now. It's pretty easy for Marquez Soto. You have to say she's gone a lot faster. She knows what she has to do. She's still very young, Marquez Soto, but she is an excellent swimmer and very experienced now. 19 years of age. She's come through really on the back of the great success that Sarai Gascon's had in Spain. And those two Spanish swimmers will be two of the firm favourites for this one. Marquez Soto, great shot there underwater, swimmers all break through. You see the leg amputees and the arm amputees going together. Marquez Soto will take that one. Lena Batts had a good swim for Sweden, she finishes second, and Sofia Konkli in third position for the Hungarian team. But Marquez Soto from Spain confirmed in first position, Lena Batts second, Konkli in third. expect this to be a Spanish head-to-head, Liz. Sarai Gascon for Spain goes in heat number 2 next to the GB debutant Tony Shaw.
Absolutely, Sarai Gascon, been around for so long. She's so experienced and she loves this sprint freestyle event.
Sarai Gascon, European record holder, 102.81. Watch out for Sarai, line number 4, great start. She's a great sprinter, isn't she? Her 50 freestyle is excellent.
Yeah, Sarai Gascon is, again, she's only 25 years old, but we feel like she's been swimming forever. She's so experienced and she's had good seasons, she's had bad seasons, but she's been so resilient and she's worked really hard and she's kept up with the pace. Every time somebody new has come into an event, she has risen to the challenge.
Susana Vieira from Portugal has gone out fast, 31.81, and Tony Shaw from Great Britain just 0.1 of a second behind her. A real emerging talent, Tony Shaw, for the Great Britain team.
Tony Shaw has been such a find. Only 15 years old, she's already this year has had a wealth of experience. She went to the Commonwealth Games for Scotland, she swam everything. But what better way to just keep improving than immerse yourself in the world's best competitions?
She's right next to one of the world's very best, and she's ahead of one of the world's very best, Tony Shaw, having a great swim here for Great Britain. And it is going to be Tony Shaw first into the wall, 105.72. Sarai Gascon just behind, and Susana Vieira in 3rd position. So a good contest there between the top 3, but Tony Shaw will be delighted with that victory.
Yeah, the confidence for this young lady just keeps growing and growing, and she's really been a discoverable talent that's going to help the next generation of British swimming's para swimmers no end.
She trains up in Aberdeen, close to Conor Morrison, who took a medal yesterday in the breaststroke. So the Aberdonians are on for 2 medals here in the Great Britain team. Great swim there for Tony Shaw. Tony Shaw takes that one, 105.72. Ahead of Sarai Gascon from Spain in 2nd, and Susana Vieira from Portugal in 3rd spot. So Tony Shaw will go into that final in great position here. 2 Spanish will be threats though, Sarai Gascon and Maria Marquez Soto.
Yeah, but Tony Shaw will thrive on having this experience of competing against those 2 experienced Spaniards. Marquez Soto actually not that much older than Tony Shaw, so you would expect that over the years to come, they will have a lot of battles.
That's our final swimming action of this morning. Just to recap what we have seen this morning, we started off with the 100 backstroke for the S10 class. Those are the minimal impairment. Lisa Kruger got us up and running with an excellent swim. But the favourite for tonight's final should be Bianca Papp, the Hungarian, who has medalled in all of the major championships in previous years. Men's SM6 200 individual medley. Well, Ties van Hoefhagen was first to the wall, but was disqualified a little bit later on, and that left the door open for the likes of David Sanchez Sierra, a Spanish swimmer. Got an excellent swim there, improving his entry time. The man to beat will be his teammate Anthony Ponce Bertrand, who had the fastest entry time for this and the fastest qualification time for the final. What about this one, Liz? Where do you think this one is going to go? Mareshko in the 200 metres individual medley, and the 2 GB swimmers had 2 heat swims which were very good.
Yeah, we saw what we're in for tonight with Maisie Simmons-Newton's another personal best time for her, setting the gauntlet out for the more experienced Eleanor Simmons, who's in her comeback season, to set ourselves up for a race that's going to be stacked. The world record could be under threat in the women's 200 individual medley this evening.
men's equivalent in the SM6 class. So Joshua Grobe from Switzerland take a close contest ahead of Chiampicotti from Italy. But the man who looked most impressive was Inigo Lopez Sanz. The Spanish swimmer was away and clear. Look at the margin of victory here for him. He took that just under the 5-minute mark.
In the women's equivalent for the S8 swimmers, last night's 200 medley victorious swimmer Xenia Francesca Palazzo set down the gauntlet to go a great swim in that first heat, and then was backed up in the second heat with Claire Soupio of France also putting in an impressive heat to set themselves up for a great race this evening.
Yes, B11 events, always unpredictable. Always something happening there for these swimmers with no vision. You'll see the tappers at the end there. And the man who touched first was Miroslav Smirka, but again was subject to a disqualification later on, so won't take place, his place in the final. And the main contenders for those medals could well be these two, Israel Oliver and Victor Smirnov, who were first and second position. They will go first and second into that final this evening.
In the men's 50 freestyle for the S3 swimmers, Denis Ostrapchenko, the young pretender, set down the gauntlet in the first heat with a time of 50.38, but that was followed up with Vincenzo Boni in the second heat, the Italian securing lane 4 for the final this evening.
It could be youth versus experience in the final of the 50 freestyle for the S4. David Smetany took heat number 1 in that time of 41.32. He's in good position for the final, but it was a blanket finish in the second heat, and the young pretender Amy Dadon from Israel, he won the 100 last night. Is he going to win the 50 tonight? Well, it is going to be a cracker.
In the men's 50 backstroke in the S5 classification, the records were tumbling. First up in the heat was Great Britain's Andrew Mullen, breaking the European record and setting a time of 36.93 to what he thought was secure the fastest lane for the final. But the second heat followed, and Yaroslav Semenenko of Ukraine responded to go one better and not only break down that European record that Andrew Mullen had set and stood for approximately a minute and a half. But Semenenko, as I said, went one better and hit the wall for a world record time in the 50-meter backstroke, breaking the time of the great Daniel Diaz by 0.15 of a second.
One to look forward to tonight. Semenenko really, really pleased with that world record swim, as he should be. Jordan Catchpole, well, he was comfortable in the first heat of the 200 freestyle for men, S14. Swimmers with an intellectual impairment. He should go faster in the final tonight. Might have to. Those 3 swimmers all came in pretty much together. The touch going to Michelle Joring, ahead of the world record holder Tom Hamer. Vasil Krying from Ukraine in third.
In the women's S14 200-meter freestyle, Paralympic champion from London 2012, Jessica Jane Applegate reasserted her authority on this event, but she'll have tough competition this evening from her British compatriots, Louise Fides, who took heat 2, and Bethany Firth, the Paralympic champion from Rio.
Well, the men's 100 freestyle S9, always a cracking contest. The former European record holders, Jose Maria Alcaraz, looked good in the first heat, 58.14. And Great Britain's Lewis White had a strong finish to take the second heat, with the European record holder Simone Barlam in that final heat, just finishing ahead of the current champion Federico Morlacchi, the great Italian standard bearer. The 2 Italians first and second to the wall in that third heat.
In the S9 women's 100-meter freestyle, we saw a Spanish head-to-head set up with Nuria Marcos Soto taking the first heat to prep one half of the head-to-head. Soraya Gascon going in the second heat, but Great Britain's young 15-year-old Tony Shaw looking to upset the States.
Well, thank you very much for joining us here. It's been a great morning session. We'll see you back for the final session at 1800 hours local time here in Dublin.